So we can see a magazine. Regular parts of text. The app. Scan. Tells me when I have a good focus. That's what the query is. Okay.
Okay.
So use that. Now that gets shipped off to my server. And it matched. So it's pulling back a thumbnail, XML data, whatever you want. And in this case, a URL that's associated with this page. So rain. This is about rain. So the editor, whoever wrote this article, decided this was the right thing to show. So this is a full web browser that you're in now. But if you want to get back to the actual page, here's the actual page, and that green area is where I took the picture. And associated with it, here's the what we call a hotspot. So you can have hotspots, multiple hotspots on a page. So again, if I do that, I'll show you one that has a bunch of hotspots on the page. Like this one. Each one of these can be a hotspot. So let's just do it again, where we can point at the text. We ship that out. It's found a match, pulling back a thumbnail, pulling back XML data, and then it opens up the browser with the URL. So this is the IDBM database. So I have this full browser. I can hit the little flip switch, and you see now where I took the picture was a hotspot. But there's multiple hotspots on here I can tap on. So I have access to everything that's on this page now. And so, you know, if we really want to see, if I want to see this one now, I'm kind of exploring, then I can tap on that and it'll load that into my browser. And at any time, if you felt like you wanted to tweet this article or publish it on Facebook, then you just push the Facebook tweet button down here, and now you can take the current URL, for instance, and you can publish it to Twitter. And if you do that, for instance, it automatically shortens the URL for you, creates the Twitter, and then you can edit it however you want. Or you can publish it to Facebook. It'll give you the option. It'll post it here with the link, and then you can add messages, things like that. Or if you wanted to, you could send it in email, and when you send it an email, it kind of composes an email for you automatically. So those are just kind of the way to share it after you've captured it. But the whole, the idea is that you're connecting people to the content here.
Okay.
On a device that can play stuff.
And how do you see the potential for schools?
For schools, I mean, I could see this for textbooks. For instance, if I'm working on a math problem and I pointed that math problem with my device, then I could watch a video and get a tutorial on how to, work with the math problem, or somebody shows me how to do it. Mm-hmm. Or it could be a little bit more interactive, like an encyclopedia. A lot of, what people are talking about doing with the iPad, where you have the electronic version only, and you're interacting with, you're reading a story, you push something, you watch a video. In this case, students can still interact with the physical copy. And I think we're a long ways away from everybody having an e-reader or an iPad. And so the physical reader, you can take legacy content like this or books, and you can actually index them. And then students who are using that content, the physical, can now get digital information that's supplemental to the physical.
And is iCandy in public beta?
So
where can users take a look at it?
So at the moment, the way iCandy works, so iCandy is the public version of iCandy does QR codes at the moment.
Okay.
But we have two parts. We have iPhone assets, so basically we can help anybody build an iPhone app that talks to our server. Or and the second part is we have a server architecture that anybody can build on. So we designed it thinking we don't know what problems the world needs to solve. We basically want to provide a tool that people can just take this server, put it into their own system, use their own data, use their own naming scheme, whatever they want to do, and use what we call the visual search engine. So we have a visual search engine that's very easy to interface with. And so what I offer to people often is, if you send me an example of the publication that you want to experiment with, send it to me in the form of a PDF. I can allow you immediately to experiment with that using our iPhone app. So you can run the iPhone app, You can point at the page, you can point at your own content, and you can see information coming back. So we're not trying to sell anything. We're a research lab. We have very mature technology, and so we're looking for partners to do kind of business trials. So if we could find a way to do something very interesting with this technology in education, it'd be fantastic. And so we'd start with some small trial, and then we kind of see where that goes from there. Ricoh's very interested in kind of partnering with companies that or organizations that are interested in kind of the workflow, the printed document like this one. So education seems like a natural fit, especially with all the documentation librarians have access to and so forth.
Terrific. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.